Alrighty, everybody. Alrighty, welcome back in. We are getting ready to do our post-game show. Thank you guys for being here. This is your boy Retro Recap, Retroactivezz, Double R Reacts. We are reacting to the game that we just saw, which would be the Orioles absolutely dismantling the Toronto Blue Jays 12-2. Let me pull up my game notes. Thank you everybody for being here. Like I said, this is your host Retro Recap. Where do we begin? Opening day, they put up a stat showing that the Orioles have the best record on opening day since 1995. They were 21-9 since 1995 on opening day. Well, you can make that 22-9. As the Baltimore Orioles absolutely destroyed the Toronto Blue Jays 12-2 to go to 1-0 on the early season. Where do we begin? Before I even talk about the bats, let's talk about the pitching. Zach Eflin, today's starter, straight out bald, had a no-hitter going through 3. He finishes the day 6 innings, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 strikeouts, 1 walk, 3 base runners, and 6 innings. Zach Eflin, I mean, he gave up the home run, but Zach Eflin was dominant today. And kind of similar to what Corbin Burnes did last year. He went out there, gave you a quality start, a great start, and the bats took care of the rest. Zach Eflin, and in the midst of all of this, Zach Eflin is going to get lost in the sauce because of what the bats did. But Zach Eflin pitched the game today. He threw strikes. The sweeper was looking amazing. You know what I'm saying? The sweeper was looking good. He relied heavily on curveballs and sweepers to start the game. The sweeper was a dominant pitch for him, and he threw strikes. We all know he's going to throw strikes. Zach Eflin had one of the better strike percentages in the league last year at 68% of throwing strikes in 2024. So he pitched the gem. Let's get into the offense. I mean, because the offense, I mean, this is ridiculous. Let me read you the numbers from today's lineup. Everybody that played, that got a plate appearance, got on base today. Colton Cowser 0 for 3, but he got on base with a walk, and I think he got a hit by pitch. Adley Rutschman 3 for 5, 3 RBIs, 2 home runs, a strikeout. Westberg 2 for 4 and a walk. Ryan O'Hearn 1 for 5. Tyler O'Neill, the newest addition to the Orioles. Tyler O'Neill 3 for 3, a home run, and 2 walks. Ryan Mountcastle 1 for 5. Cedric Mullins 3 for 5, 2 home runs, 3 RBIs. Ramon Urias got on base with a walk. Jackson Holliday got on base with a single. The bats were cooking today, and this is something that we were looking for at the end of last year, right? When last year in the second half of the season, they were struggling to put runs on the board. In the playoff game against the Royals, struggling to get base runners. What a statement for the first game of the year, for you to come out and drop 12 runs on the road in Canada, not even on U.S. soil. You go off of U.S. soil and drop 12 runs. I mean, this is ridiculous. Where do we begin? Adley Rutschman. I don't know what it is about Adley Rutschman on opening days, but didn't he go like 5 for 5 last year or 2 years ago against the Boston Red Sox? What is it with Adley Rutschman, first game of the year, where he just decides to ball out? First inning, Adley Rutschman hits a home run, a moonshot. Now, we thought that was his biggest home run of the game, but wait till later on. He hit a 436-foot home run that was absolutely crushed, and he set the tone for the Orioles, giving them a 1-0 lead in the game. And it was like, okay, great start. Second inning, Tyler O'Neill, the newest Oriole, Tyler O'Neill, he walks on a 3-2 count. Now, Tyler O'Neill had a good batting out of this game. I mean, he swung at maybe 1 or 2 pitches that was off the plate, but Tyler O'Neill got 2 walks, and he reached base every plate appearance that he was in. He got a walk on a 3-2 count. Ryan Mountcastle, this is all top of the second, reached on a double Ryan Mountcastle, we already know Ryan Mountcastle rakes the ball against the Blue Jays. He's the Blue Jays killer. So that got him second and third with nobody out. Cedric Mullins gets an infield hit by a good hustle. He hit the ball to the third baseman. He hit the ball to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. And Vladimir Guerrero Jr. looked like he wanted to throw the ball to home plate to stop the run. But the little hesitation that he got with throwing the ball to home plate, he was indecisive. Then he finally realized, I want to throw it to first base, but it was too late because Cedric Mullins was hustling, and Tyler O'Neill scored, giving the Orioles a 2-0 lead. Mullins gets caught stealing on second base. Then Ramon Urias popped out, and then Jackson Holliday strikes out. Orioles leading 2-0. Bottom of the second inning, Zach Eflin dealing 1-2-3 inning. His sweeper was amazing. Like I said, sweeper just dominating all the Blue Jays batters early on. We get to the top of the third. 𝐂𝐚𝐬𝐡 𝐀𝐩𝐸 gets a walk. Adley Rutschman, an opposite field single on a 1-2 pitch. We already know Adley Rutschman, when he's hot and when he's going, he can hit the ball anywhere. He can hit it opposite field, straight away. We already know he can pull the ball based on what we've seen. So Adley Rutschman, fresh off a home run, gets an opposite field single on a 1-2 pitch. 𝐂𝐚𝐬𝐡 𝐀𝐩𝐸 strikes out on an 0-2 pitch. The strike zone today was very, very inconsistent, weird. And how I was saying it the whole game, I feel like the strike zone, the low strikes were favoring the Blue Jays. Every time they would throw a low strike, they would get the call. Every time the Orioles would throw a low strike, they wouldn't get the call. So 𝐀𝐻𝐸 strikes out on a pitch that was really a ball. O'Hearn pops out, and then what happens? So you got 𝐂𝐚𝐬𝐡 𝐀𝐻𝐸 on, and you got Adley Rutschman on. 2 men on. Tyler O'Neill comes up to the plate. They showed the stat of Tyler O'Neill getting a home run in 5 straight opening days. So did you think it would continue? Of course it did. Tyler O'Neill crushes an opposite field home run, extending the lead to 5-0. And this is what you brought Tyler O'Neill in for. We know he got pop against lefties. We know he has pop in general. But anytime you can hit the ball opposite field and it's gone, yeah, that man has a lot of power in that bat, because it's not easy to hit an opposite field home run. Bottom of the third, Zach Eflin again, 1-2-3 inning. Zach Eflin is dealing, throwing strikes. You know, he got a variety of fastballs: sinker, cutter, 4-seam fastball, 2-seam fastball, sinking fastball. Zach Eflin has a variety of pitches. That sweeper and that curveball was cooking today. Easy inning in the bottom of the third. Top of the fourth inning, Cedric Mullins, very first pitch of the game, very first pitch of the inning. He pulls the ball to right field, absolutely crushed. Orioles are up 6-0. The Orioles scored in the first, the Orioles scored the first, 5 innings of this game, cooking. And then after the Mullins home run, Holliday, Urias, and 𝐀𝐻𝐸 in the inning. Vladimir Guerrero, bottom of the fourth. This is where the Blue Jays get their only 2 runs of the game. Vladimir Guerrero, Eflin walks Guerrero, and then Jimenez comes up to the plate and jacks a 2-run home run to make it 6-2 at that point. But Eflin was dealing, and you feel like even though he gave up the 2-run home run, the Orioles were in control because the bats were hot. Top of the fifth, Adley Rutschman strikes out. Westberg flies out. O'Hearn gets a single. Then Tyler O'Neill gets another single. Tyler O'Neill had a good game today. And then Ryan Mountcastle strikes out with a man in scoring position, ends the inning. Bottom of the fifth, after Zach Eflin gives up the 2 runs in the frame before, he goes out there and has a clean 1-2-3 inning. Bottom of the fifth, and that was it. Cedric Mullins comes up, top of the sixth, flies out. I think this is the first inning. No, this is the second inning where they don't score a run. Urias walks. 𝐀𝐻𝐸 gets hit by a pitch, but Rutschman, who was hot, flies out in the inning. Bottom six, Eflin still goes out there. He's dealing. Mind you, I think he ended the game with like 70. I think he didn't even have 80 pitches in this game. How many pitches did Eflin finish with this game? Eflin finished with 78 pitches. So Eflin didn't even throw a lot of pitches in this game, which is a good thing. You know, Brandon High likes going to the bullpen early. Like Eflin, if you're being real, Eflin could have stayed out there another 2 innings. That's how good he looked. But you want to preserve your arm. It's the beginning of the year, and you want to preserve your arms because it's 162 games. And granted, Eflin isn't pitching every single day, but you want to make sure Eflin is fresh for the end of the year. So he got pulled in the 6th inning, 6 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs, gave the 2-run home run, 2 strikeouts, and he did have that 1 walk. But Eflin pitched the game. 7th inning, Jordan Westburg walks. Tyler O'Neill gets another single because that's what Tyler O'Neill is doing. He just puts the ball in play. And then Cedric Mullins already had a home run in this game. Guess what? He smokes. I mean, he absolutely demolished another home run to right field, kind of similar to the one he had in the what was it, the 3rd inning? What inning was that? The 3rd inning? He hits a home run the same exact way to right field, crushed 3-run home run, and by that point it's 9-0, and Orioles are just doing having that way 9-2. Excuse me. Cedric Mullins had a 2-home run game, first game of the year, and if you remember, he was the only offense that we had in the playoffs. We scored 1 run against the Royals, and that was a Cedric Mullins home run. So Cedric Mullins has been stacking games. If you go back to last year, he was kind of, a little bit off in the first half of the season, but second half of last year, he started to warm up. And then first game of the year this year, he's cooking. Cedric Mullins went 3 for 5. 5 RBIs, 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 home runs, and he played a good center field as he always does. So Cedric Mullins is cooking. Jackson Holliday gets a hit, joins the hit parade, gets his first hit of the year. Good to see, because I was like, he's 0 for 3, 0 for 4. It'd be nice to get Jackson Holliday a hit, and he does. And then Adley Rutschman, I mean, my lord. You thought the first home run by Adley Rutschman was something. I mean, my God. The second home run, I mean, it's one of those things you just got to see it. He absolutely tattooed the ball. I mean, absolutely tattooed the ball. Absolutely crushed the ball to right field. Right field was a theme today. A lot of the home runs, I think the Orioles hit 6 home runs today. I think 5 of the home runs went to right field, if I'm not mistaken. Tyler O'Neill, so Rutschman hit a home run to right field. Tyler O'Neill hit a home run to right field. Both of Mullins' home runs were to right field. Who was the other person that hit a home run? Westberg? They hit 6 home runs. Both were Rutschman's. O'Neill. So we got, Rutschman and Mullins 4. Yeah. So Jordan Westberg, after the Rutschman home run to right field, which was absolutely crushed, by the way, Jordan Westberg hits a home run back-to-back after Rutschman, straight away center field. The only home run that was hit straight away. And the Orioles are just destroying 12-2. And then, so the only blemish, if you want to talk about the blemish, because it wasn't from the offense, Orioles pitching had 5 walks. Most of them were by Dominguez. Dominguez and Aiken did walk 2 batters apiece. Dominguez did have some control issues, but he got a double play and he did his job. He didn't allow a run. Aiken gave up 2 walks, one to Guerrero, and forgot who the other walk was to. Former Oriole, we talk about Anthony Santander. Former Oriole, Mr. 44 home runs, 0 for 4 against his former team. So he went hitless. A lot of pop-ups for Santander. Didn't strike out, but a lot of pop-ups for Santander. So no revenge, like going crazy revenge against his former team. Of course, we're going to be playing the Blue Jays a lot this year, so I'm sure Santander will get a little bit of revenge against his former team. But the walks was the only blemish. Everything else was good. The defense was good. And in the 9th inning, let's talk about that play by Kjerstad. I forgot who got the hit, but it was a hit down the line. Kjerstad was just in for a defensive replacement for O'Neill. You thought it was a double. Kjerstad threw a laser to second base. Mateo just in from a defensive replacement for Jordan Westberg, I believe, or Jackson Holiday. And they gunned down the Blue Jays player. And so good defense by Kjerstad and good defense by Mateo, who just came in. So in a nutshell, Birds win 12-2. Absolutely demolished them. Really a flawless game outside of the walks. If we can just get this going for, I mean, we're not going to get 12-2. We're not going to get 12 runs every single game. But if we can just get a fraction, we already know the Orioles can hit home runs. The Orioles have been a home run hitting team for the last 3-4 years now. We know they got the long ball. Even with Santander, and this is with no Gunnar Henderson. Like, that's the crazy part. You hit 6 home runs and no Gunnar. Just imagine when you get Gunnar back with Tyler O'Neill, with Adley Rutschman hitting the ball, and if Mullins can hit the ball like that, it's going to be a good year for the bats. The question is, do they have the pitching to keep up with the bats? Zach Eflin gave you a good game. Tomorrow it is going to be, there's no way Charlie Morton is pitching tomorrow. Is that correct? Is tomorrow Charlie Morton? That can't be right. Charlie Morton is your game 2 pitcher? Wow. Okay, well, tomorrow is going to be Charlie Morton versus Gausman at 7 o'clock. That's on Apple TV. That's not on local TV. I'm gonna have to find a way to watch that game. But that'll be on Apple TV. Gausman and Morton. Gausman was the free agent. I mean, not Gausman. Morton was a free agent pickup. He's 40 years old though, so I'm not sure how that's going to turn out tomorrow. But if the Orioles can swing the bat, I mean, he had a good spring training though. But if the Orioles can swing the bat like they did today, I'm not concerned about the pitching matchup, because they lit the baseball up today against Barrios. We didn't even talk about Barrios, who had his worst start against the Orioles. Now you got to remember, Barrios last year was the Blue Jays' best pitcher. He won 16 games last year, a 3.6 ERA. First game of the year against the Birds, absolutely destroyed. So we'll see. But that is our post-game review. Birds destroyed the Blue Jays 12-2. They play at 7 o'clock tomorrow. We'll do a reaction stream. I don't know if we're going to do a live stream, a watch along, but we'll do a reaction stream to the highlights and the post-game show. So if you like this video, if you like the Birds winning, drop a follow, drop a like, because we like the Orioles here. Even if you're not a fan of the Orioles, if you're a fan of me, drop a like, drop a comment, drop a subscribe, and do all that fun stuff. And we'll see you on the next show, which will be tomorrow. Have a good night, everybody. I will see you guys then. Birds win 12-2 over the Toronto Blue Jays. We'll see you next time. Peace out.